Hey guys, welcome back. So we're doing another episode of Brian's story. So our normal disclaimer, we decided months ago that we thought doing a podcast about men's mental health might be helpful.
By the time you see this and the amount of episodes, it might sound more like a year ago.
Probably. Brian has dealt with panic disorder, anxiety, depression for years. And it all started, a little backstory is it all started when I teach and my class was doing mental health and
Oh, I thought you went.
no.
The panic disorder started. I'm like,
And
did not start a couple of years ago.
I'd asked him if he'd be willing to kind of give a little bit of background on it so they can get a gist of somebody who's actually dealing with it.
Made a video
Yeah, we made a video that
where you were just asking questions similar to this, but
was supposed to be like 45 minutes. It was like almost 2 hours. But my students enjoyed it. Like my students were like, they gave him tons of kudos for even having the courage to do it. And just for the record, I do have male students as well, not they were not all females. And afterwards, we were talking, me and Brian, and I said he had said that it helped. It felt good to talk about it. And
well, that and the fact that they got something out of it,
right,
other than just having to sit there for class credits. They actually had, there was a lot of positive feedback and stuff like that. So it was like,
just for the record, there was no class credit for it.
oh,
Which even made it more because it was voluntarily if they wanted to watch it.
and to sit there and watch me for that length of time, which if you actually watch any of these episodes, you'll know exactly what I mean.
And they're used to me because I'm with them almost 40 hours a week. So,
What am I, a full-time job?
no, the students are used to me talking.
I thought you meant me. I was like, when did I become a full-time job?
So we decided to do a podcast. And if it helps even one person think that it's okay what they're dealing with, it's that they're not on an island by themselves, then it was worth it. But keep in mind, we're not medical professionals. We're not doing this as medical professionals, I should say. This is his story, how he's handled things, how he's done things. You might not agree with it. You might think that it's crazy. I've been with him almost 10 years, and there's still certain things that I'm like, knock it off. But it's his story. So I say this all the time. Who are we to judge? It's not for children. If you want your child to watch it, you might want to sit with them. There's going to be some adult content and some language that you probably aren't going to be fond of. And if you are sensitive or become, if you're easily offended.
What's the word the kids are all using? Triggered?
Yeah, if you get triggered easily, this might not be for you. Now, keep in mind, we understand mental health can cause triggers for certain things. I'm not saying they can't. But if you're going to get upset because he turned around and said,
fuck,
or something,
shit,
shut up, something like, well, that didn't work for me. And you'd be like, oh my God, how could he say, just keep going, keep scrolling. But if you do like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions, feel free to comment.
I just want to say something. This is a lot of episodes in, but this is not for, this is not getting, monetized.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know how that works or it's not for that. We both have our own jobs, careers, whatever you want. So this is not something that we're looking to turn into a full-time job. It's literally, there's two things. One, if somebody can relate and they felt like they haven't found anybody that's similar or can relate to this, what I'm talking about or what we're talking about, and that helps them to either go get help or just makes them feel better, then that's the main goal. And then the second one is, if I'm getting a benefit out of it by talking and not having to pay somebody to listen.
So what you're saying is I should start charging you. Mental note.
Free therapy.
Also,
Just like the opinions, it's free, so take it with a grain of salt.
my opinions.
No, our opinions to anybody
Oh,
else,
oh,
everybody's opinions to everybody else should be worth little to none. But if you get something out of it,
right.
then that's the main goal.
And also, if you reach out and you think, I really relate to you on this, and talking even to just one of us, anything, if it helps one person, then it was worth it. If it helps him, so be it. I'm only kidding.
I'm probably not going to change.
So we're doing therapy part 2. So you stopped going the first time because it became more of a marriage counseling session than therapy for you. And I get that.
It became like was it TLC or A&E, the couples therapy or whatever.
Couples retreat.
No, it was not a retreat. No, it turned into where, I mean, it was causing more fights, which I didn't need somebody outside of the marriage to instigate arguments. That was going to happen all by itself.
I hear
Because what it would be is, well, what did you see happen, or how did
you think this was going to end?
No, it was the therapist asking me about a situation that was brought up. Let's just say it was over dinner and there was a fight about it. Well, how did you see it? Well, I saw that. And then you would get no. Well, and now it's a back and now we're literally arguing in the therapist's office.
So you guys didn't have the sessions where when you were speaking, she couldn't speak. That is typically how couples therapy goes.
No, I don't remember that.
So say we were in couples therapy.
Well, again, remember, it wasn't technically couples therapy. If I remember correctly, I think she was brought in a couple of times for, an outside opinion or what they saw or what they think about this or that. And then it became a reoccurring, they became a reoccurring character in that, horror story.
This is going to sound horrible, but it's me. I have to ask. Did she get anything out of it? Besides making you look like the bad guy?
Besides breaking my balls? No, I don't know.
Okay. All right, so...
If I did ask her, I don't remember the answer, and obviously now I don't give a shit.
So you finished there. You said to the therapist, I'm done. Years went by, I guess, and then you decided to try again.
Yeah, I don't know how many years went by, but it was... I wish my memory was even 10% better, but I know it was years. How many? I don't know if it was 3, 4, 5.
What made you go back?
That I don't remember either. Now, by then, I was with my primary care physician who...
We'll just call him the Nimrod.
Ended up... Well, he said he was retiring, but I found out later that he was let go or something like that to become an archaeologist. I don't know if he was an Indiana Jones fan. And then I had actually... or he had contacted me on Facebook or something. And I just looked at his Facebook, and there was a bunch of videos with him and, like...
him driving around with the Barbie.
He had a Barbie in the seatbelt in the back seat, and then another one that was, like, on a kitchen table. And I'm just like... Oh, and this was the guy that was in charge of my health care.
So...
But anyway, I don't know if he had wanted me to go to therapy or... I honestly don't remember.
So you went back to the same place?
Yeah. But because at the time, that's all I knew. Like, so.
And around here, that's not uncommon. I mean, there's only a few, so
Yeah, I mean, and I don't think I don't know when smartphones came around, but I was way late on that anyway, so it didn't matter. And I didn't even have a cell phone at the time. And I'm trying to think, did I have a computer? Yeah, we had a computer, but I probably didn't use it for anything other than art-related stuff
or to play games.
playing games or, downloading music off Napster.
So you're now attempting it again.
Yeah, so I go back. I don't remember seeing a psychiatrist. I mean, I had to do an intake.
Not necessarily with a psychiatrist.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
I don't remember the second time that process as vividly as I do the first.
probably not, because he was prescribing.
If that's how it happened, I don't
Right.
I don't know if that's how it happened. I honestly don't remember.
Okay.
I remember going back.
And what happened?
Again, by then they would ask your preference, male or female,
Right.
which from this day forward will always be female when it comes to doctors, because not all male doctors do I have a problem with, but most just seem to be, I get the shitheads.
And it's ironic because most of my doctors are males and not females.
Or it's me, which that could very well be the case.
I'm not saying that. He has had some real doozies for
But
doctors.
I
so.
seem to get along, or whatever, with female physicians better in almost everything. But I'm pretty sure that's what I said, and I got another dipshit dude, and that was like 2 sessions, and I told him switch me. Like just he shouldn't have a license. I don't know how he got here, or this is exactly where he belongs. I don't know. So then I trying to remember her name. She was young. I know that. Cannot remember her name. I just remember being like, I was almost uncomfortable at how young she was, because I was like, there's no way you know shit. I had that kind of attitude. Like, I believe that females are smarter than men,
This is true.
but I don't believe that a 20-something is smarter than me. For the most part.
How much schooling did you go to for therapy?
None, but I was nuts for a whole lot longer.
And it doesn't matter, though, because they can see things that you don't see.
No, and there was nothing wrong with her. I was there. I was 6 to 9 months before she finished up her intern or whatever.
6 to 9 months seems long.
I don't know how long she was there before me.
That seems long for an internship. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Maybe it was 6 months. It was somewhere around there. 6 to 9 months. I don't know. But I just remember my first impression was, she's just way too young.
Did you feel uncomfortable talking to her about certain things?
Not that I remember.
Okay. So the age in that sense wasn't a problem.
No, I wasn't talking about, like, what specific things. It's not like bedroom stuff or anything.
No. That's not what.
That I would have been uncomfortable with, but
And that could have came up in your sessions. But what I'm saying is,
not that I remember.
There's certain things that some people would be like, oh, she's not going to understand this. She's too young. She's not. or something that's
Oh, I mean, you mean from like a generation?
not
I could have been totally off. She may have been older than. She
not
looked like mid-20s from what I remember, but she could have been in her 30s at the time, which I wouldn't have been much older than her.
not generational, just that if you felt, oh, she's young, like she's not experienced life, and the life I've been experienced has been shit, like stuff like that. I'm not saying generational stuff.
Well, I mean, if you're 24 or 25, you haven't experienced shit. Yeah, some have experienced a ton of shit, but for the most part, your brain didn't even freaking fully develop yet, so you haven't really experienced a whole lot.
That's what I meant.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't remember thinking that way, but if that was the thought pattern, it went away pretty fast.
Okay, so what happened? She moved on.
Yeah, she. I remember not. It didn't feel the same when I went back. Like she didn't have an office. She had like a broom closet with 2 chairs in it, almost.
Okay.
Where the other ones had like the desk and a couple pieces of furniture and a chair.
So it was more personable with you and her, where it was more.
Yeah, it just felt like, we're out of space here. Use this closet over here that we usually. I actually think there were boxes of like files or something in there, if I remember.
But you felt comfortable in there.
No, I mean, wait, which time? What are you talking about?
Is this a new one that you got? That?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the new one, it was like a storage room.
Oh, okay.
A very small one. I mean, I think some people's bathrooms may have been bigger.
Okay.
I was more uncomfortable with how close
So
the chairs were.
So I do want to give a little backstory. He is not. This is going to sound so horrible coming from me because I'm your wife. He is not a very touchy-feely person. With me, he is, obviously. But if somebody goes to give him a hug, he gets very uncomfortable. He wants to pull back.
I recoil.
And he doesn't like being close to people. So being that close to somebody probably did kind of draw a red flag to begin with.
Yeah, it was a little too, like, you're in my personal space.
Yeah.
Back the fuck up. But again, once you start talking to somebody every week, you start, you start to relax a little bit and you start to ignore the
broom closet.
Yeah, the surroundings, and you're just, But I don't remember getting a whole lot out of it. It was just kind of whatever. But then she literally tells me, like, hey, next week you'll be starting with somebody else. Like, moving on. Like, a couple weeks ahead would, like a heads up would have been cool. Or a month. And it's just like, okay. So then the next one wasn't even 2 months. And I don't remember her name. I don't remember anything about her. I think she may have been in a regular office instead of the broom closet. I don't remember. And then she did the same thing. And then that's when I went and told them to, like, I'm done. Like, don't put me with anybody else. Like, just delete everything. Use your trash. I'm done. I remember whoever was the person that, it was not a psychiatrist, I knew that. Maybe it was an intake person at that point. And they were like, well, and then that's when they literally told me, like, they were getting their license. I'm like, then why would you? I said, what am I getting out of this when I have to go back every fucking time and start from 1970 whatever? I'm like, how do you honestly think anybody's getting anything out of this by having to rehash everything over and over and over?
And what did they say?
Well, we can't, but it was just a pile of bullshit. I was just like, shut the fuck up. Just delete all my shit. Don't call me. Don't do anything. I'm done. Like, will not step foot in here for any reason. And that was it. Because I was just like, this, like, to have to go over your entire life again.
It would
Now,
be different.
We've done it. If you've watched prior, from the beginning, or you went back, or you go back now, you'll see we start from what I know of my family's history, grandparents, parents, and move on. When you have to do that this time, and you go that 4-year period with the main therapist, and then stop, and then you go back and you do it again, and then again, and then, like, I'm not getting out of it. I'm not even getting up to what the fucking problem is today, because I have to go over everything. Because at that time, now I'm 39 or 40 or 41. This was 2011 or 12 maybe. So, I mean, I'm 41, 42. Like, now I've got to go over 40 freaking years.
Do you think it would have been different if they knew September 1st that November 1st was going to be their last day, and they brought somebody in to sit in the sessions with you and for them to collaborate between themselves, and then you start the new therapist?
Nah, because if they'd have told me that was going to happen, I'd have told them, to, like, forget it.
Why?
Then what do I need them for?
Because they are winding out your service and introducing your new therapist.
No. Then they'd need to be there from day one, because they didn't hear the first couple months.
No, not necessarily. That's what the collab would be. She would then collab with them, not necessarily hearing it from your words, but hearing what was going on. I'm wondering if that would have been any different.
Nah, that would have, it would have ended even quicker.
Why would that have pissed you off? So say if the person got
Because
offered...
it's ridiculous.
Okay, so say if the person got offered a better job.
That's not my fucking problem. I get it, but it's
right.
Not... Why... What I'm doing, or what I'm there for, is all I care about. I honestly don't give a shit about what's going on with the therapist. That's like it. They're there to do their job.
And they did do their job.
Well, again, if you're going to be there for 3 months or 2 months or 6 months, and then you're going to be gone, you're not helping the patient at all. You're actually making it worse.
You don't know if they were only there 2 or 3 months. You've only seen them for 2 or 3 months. They could have been there 3 years.
Again, I don't care.
I get what you're saying.
No, the lady told me they were there to do their internship or whatever, and then they went on to get their licenses to have their own psychiatry practice. So I don't know if they're to blame or the company's to blame. But somebody there is a fucking idiot, and it's not fair to the patients.
You're right, but I don't think that's 100% accurate. I think it may be that they had a revolving door because they couldn't keep people because of some of their clientele. And
like I said, I don't know if it was the counselor's fault or the corporation's fault.
But I mean, stop and think about it. What sounds better to you? We just can't keep any therapists because we're a crappy place to work, or they're doing hours and that's what's happening.
No, I'd rather them tell me they just suck, because then at least you're being honest.
Well, you know how that works. So
I can take honesty. I can't take bullshit.
Oh, yeah, I get that. So here you are, you're done again. 2023 hits. We find, so we thought, somebody that would do what you needed.
So in 22, we had the neuropsych exam where they spit out anything and everything that could be wrong with you. Trying to get diagnosed to see if there's a possibility that the racing and the what if and all that is ADD.
And we were told that day that
it wasn't.
No, that's not what we were told that day. We were told that day, and this kind of left a bad taste in my mouth because I know people that have been diagnosed as adults, that it's almost impossible to diagnose an adult with ADD or ADHD because you'd have to go back to their childhood. And I remember at that point, they asked me to sit out in the waiting room and you finished the test. And I'm sitting out there and I'm like, now at this point, I don't know how many years I'd been in the medical field. I'm sitting there thinking, I've had patients that at 45, 50. I had one who was like, he retired, so he was in his 60s, who just went on ADD medicine because
Well,
they.
there's like a list of practices that deal with adult ADD, so it
So,
must not be that hard to diagnose
well,
it.
that could be ones that have aged out of children's practices. But I'm sitting here thinking, the guy went to school with a very close friend of mine who, she was in her 30s when she got diagnosed. And it was so funny because she's like, thank God there's actually something wrong. Like, she had that whole.
Well, my thing would be the symptoms are the symptoms.
You would think, yeah.
Like, we've looked up.
And you check off, if there's 10, you check off at least 8.5.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yep. Not really. No, yep. Now, is that definitive just because, the Mayo Clinic made up a list and I have 8 of them? Well, normally if you have 80% of the symptoms, you have the problem.
Yeah, I mean, that left a really bad taste. And then reading the report.
She literally said, she said it in the office. She was like, I don't say it. Like, I don't, like, as far as the test goes, no. And I'm like, well.
Could that be because you were concentrating on what was going on right there and then? I don't think, and I guess this is just my infinite wisdom.
I mean, the focus, and the main thing is like the focus, the attention span, the not being able to shut off my brain and stuff like that. But if you put something in front of me and give me a legit task to do, it's going to get done. And that's that. So people go, oh, well, then you don't have ADD because they can't do that. Bullshit.
Yes, they can. That's
true.
the only time they can do it.
So, I don't know. But so anyway, you found this guy, emailed, told him exactly what we were looking for. He contacts me, and I literally explained to him in the email, this is what I'm looking for at this time. If you can't provide this, then we'll just keep looking.
Right.
Talk to your wife, blah, blah, blah. Everything's good. So, again, I do not remember this lady's name.
I never met her, so I don't know.
She was young, again. But at that time, I'm 53. So, there's a good chance that they're probably going to be younger. But, we started talking. No mention of that she's an intern or work-based learning or anything. So we started, I want to say in like September. So the end of November, beginning of December, she tells me that suddenly she started sharing, like, she went to school here.
I remember you telling me that.
At this place, and she's getting adjusted to the city, and I'm like, wait, like to commute for school in the city, and she doesn't. I'm like, you're not from here. Not that that's an issue, but there was other things that made me go, something's off. I don't know what it is. And then suddenly, it's like, I graduated, which I didn't know she was currently in school for.
She was probably getting her master's. She probably had already had her bachelor's, and she was probably getting her master's.
It was weird. And she's like, I got to talk to whatever his name was that runs the practice and see if we can continue at this rate. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, well, now that I've graduated, I can, like,
her credentials have changed.
I'm no longer a, intern, or what's the What's the thing they use? She used it. Like, what's the thing that they use for like politicians, people that work with them, that aren't like not volunteers, but they're the hell is the thing with the schools and stuff?
Interns,
No,
internship.
I thought there was some. They were called something else. Nah, whatever.
You have your internship, your externship,
I don't know. But she was like,
apprentice.
no, I don't know. I don't know. But it was basically, they were only charging $25 per session,
Correct.
which at the time, you know, they weren't taking the insurance for $25. Fine. Then all of a sudden it was going to be 250 or 300. And I'm like, both of you were told right from the beginning that I don't have much money. I can't afford the going rate for a psychiatrist or whatever. And that if this was going to be any kind of short-term thing, I did not want to be a part of it. Well, he didn't tell. I was like, I told you that. He didn't need to tell you. I told you, right? The first session we had, I didn't want to, like, if you're going anywhere and you flat out lied, I said, don't worry about it. I'll handle it.
Well,
So
I'm not saying she didn't lie. She didn't go anywhere, but her rate changed. I understand where you're coming from.
no, that was, and I called him immediately. And I said, you know, basically, what the fuck did I tell you right from the beginning? You know, he's like, what are you talking? I'm like, she's now done.
She would now be licensed.
And she's either moving on somewhere or I'm going to have to pay $250 or $300 per session when I told you this is what I can afford. Well, the $250, it's not guaranteed. It's going to go up. I said, is it going to be more than 50? Well, yeah. I said, then I can't afford it. I said, and I also told you, don't give me somebody who's in school and is using this for their internship. Well, I mean, she's not leaving. I said, what's in the fucking email? I said, do you want me to contact the state and the medical board and we'll just go from there? How about we do that? I'll just refund your money. I said, yeah, I know you will. And that was the end of that. He refunded all of it, and that was it. And I was just like, you know. So 23, you know, 24, 25 started looking again. And then just this past March or April or whatever, found this one company who, again, is probably going to be a train wreck, but I'll give it a shot. And they use, like all of them do now, is like independent contractors. And
That's not shocking though, because a lot of medical facilities do that, not just
it may not be
mental health.
shocking, but it's fucking annoying.
Oh, well, I get that, but
Because like the facility or the company has one set of rules or whatever, and then when you talk to the person, it suddenly changed because they actually, I forgot the other one that was last year that I talked to once. Mm-hmm. Because she's like, are you in the city? And I'm like, no. I'm like, how do you not know this? They have all my information. Well, we're contracted, and I'm like, and I've done jobs where I was an independent contractor, so I know exactly the communication between the company, and you being the independent contractor. There is no communication.
if there is, it's very little.
Like, good luck.
Well, I mean, even
So that was another one. She's like, oh, well, we don't take it in the city. You have to get somebody from the county, which I was like, what kind of stupid shit is that?
okay, so I can explain that.
I know, but there's just no sense in it because it's the same damn state.
It doesn't. Okay, so Each office has their own NPI number, okay? And that's how they do billing.
But she worked out of that office. She works out of the county office, but works from home in the city.
And so when she's in this city, she has to bill the NPI number out of the city office. I'll give you an example.
Then why are they... So, and again, this is where I had to call the office back and go, hey, dumbass.
I'll give you an example.
And then they didn't know that.
Because you're talking to a central calling
Yeah,
facility.
apparently this dude was in Oklahoma somewhere.
So
or Texas, I don't know.
I'll give you an example. Dermatology. All right. The dermatology that I go to. They have multiple offices. They have offices in Delaware. They have offices in Philly. They have offices all over the city. The doctor that they scheduled me for a remote or a telehealth visit when I was breaking out was in Delaware the day and time of the appointment, which meant she could not use my insurance. But if she was in the city, she could have.
I understand the out of state. This was in the same state.
But it depends what office they're out of.
And again, the idiots at the call center
Should know that.
This shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got a call the day of that they had to cancel the appointment because they didn't know. It has to do with our insurance.
It's so annoying that these companies don't know their ass from a hole in the ground.
I can't fault them for the insurance because of how many insurances there are. So I can't fault them for that as much. But certain ones, like, I'll be honest with you, we just ran into it with Ortho. His PA isn't credentialed with my insurance yet. But she can see me in the office because it's under him. It's crazy. But she couldn't order me anything. So, yeah, it's very frustrating when it comes to insurance issues.
And if for all the people out there that want to talk about, healthcare and the accessibility and all that, have a problem and then try and deal with it and see how well that goes.
And it's not just mental health. It's a lot of stuff in healthcare.
Oh, I know.
It's a lot of stuff.
I deal with it with the other shit. And it's just, I'm kind of tired of people constantly going, there's the big, since COVID, it's a big push on mental health with politics or social issues or whatever. Which, welcome to the party. You're only 30 years late, but whatever.
I like how there's a light on it now, but I don't like the light that's on it.
The only reason they're doing it is because it's the hot topic of the day. Not because they give a shit. It's like everything else. It's what's going to get me elected or reelected, or what's going to make us the most money. What's popping up on every corner right at the moment? Substance abuse clinics. Because that's the big thing at the moment.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the CBD places.
No, that's not political. Or as far as I know, they haven't. No, but it's just, and then since COVID, it's like, and again, this is probably going to set people off, but all of a sudden, everybody developed some kind of mental health issue because of COVID.
I will tell you.
And I've dealt with a couple. Some of it's bullshit.
I will tell you that I saw where I worked after COVID, it was more like, well, if they need a support blanket or something to go to school. And I'm like, where did that start?
Because of social media, for one.
Right. They wanted to make everyone.
And I'm well aware that this is social media. But everybody sits on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or YouTube or whatever and gets told that they have a mental health problem.
I think the worst thing out there is WebMD.
Well, that's been around a long time. And
but I'm saying
there's
now
there's a lot of false information on there.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I know people that'll sit there and say, "I swear I'm bipolar." Have you seen a doctor? Well, no, but I have all the. but have you seen a doctor or even somebody that works slightly in the medical field? Well, no, I go manic. I hate to disappoint everybody. If you're truly diagnosed with bipolar, it's not the same thing as having a couple bad days. Everyone has their ups and downs. That is called life. I have the screensaver on my computer. If you don't have the peaks and valleys, then you're not living. So if you don't have those ups and downs, you're not alive. Somebody who's bipolar can't control how high the peak is and how low the valley is. That is the difference. I'm not saying bipolar is not real. I totally believe it is. I have seen people with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying everything that came. It's just that once after COVID, the lockdown, all of a sudden everybody got scared or they got a little nervous about
Life.
all the all the news things that you're getting bombarded from your iPad, your computer, computer, laptop, phone, TV, family and friends about all the misinformation that was put out there about COVID. And then the lockdown and the vaccines and the continued social distancing and the masks and the completely idiotic crap that the government and businesses and Department of Health or whoever it was at the time was pushing. And I'm getting a little political, but
Well, we're going to reel it back in a minute, but go ahead.
a lot of that stuff was proven to be just having to wear your mask to go into a restaurant, to sit down, to take it off and eat, and then having to put it back on.
Yeah, I agree.
Come on.
But I think...
But the people that were, you're getting bombarded with this stuff. So I understand where you being in the medical field, me not giving a shit, I easily ignored all the just fear that was coming from mainstream media and
I went with the science of it.
the government. I'm like, it's a virus.
But there were points that you did not want to be around anyone who had it.
Not in the beginning. I didn't give a shit.
Right.
We literally did not care in the beginning. I mean, we were kind of just laughing it off.
Mm-hmm.
Should have kept that train of thought. But as it drug on, it wasn't the virus so much that had gotten to me. It was just a constant people being sick and nobody knowing. And I mean, every time everybody got sick, it got diagnosed as COVID.
And realistically, all that would have had to happen is when they swabbed them, they had the antibodies. So that's the only... And here's my thing.
It just was a little ridiculous. But once I got diagnosed with a blood disorder and was told you're at a higher risk for stroke, blood clots, and then the treatments are going to wipe out your immune system, your iron levels, that's when I started to get a little more concerned. Now, I was already concerned because I knew that the virus at the time was going to go after morbidly obese people, the elderly, and the immune compromised. Us, kids, people that are in shape, really it wasn't that big of a threat. Maybe a little bit with you, with your blood disorder.
I was more worried about the side effects of it, the clotting.
Possible clotting, right.
But now I can argue that point because I know somebody who fit as anything, worked out, ran.
But again,
he was the odd one out.
They're the outliers. They're
or the dancer from Broadway. They're yeah.
I mean, there's people that have gotten head colds and have died that were in amazing shape.
Yeah, I mean,
it happens. There's how many people that are runners end up having a heart attack and dying. It's like, well, I thought you were really healthy. It happens.
Not unheard of, but that's for another topic. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying that it doesn't matter what you do if your time's up. Well,
I think
you're going to go.
I think COVID scared people that I think it did two different things. I think it scared people enough to realize that maybe they did have a little underlying anxiety, and it brought it to the surface, and they thought it was worse than what it was. They always had that little bit of anxiety, and COVID just brought it a little bit more to the table.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that there was a mad rush for everybody to just run to a therapist office.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we saw it.
I mean,
we'll just leave it at that. We saw it.
There's no fucking way that many people just lost their shit all at the same time without being told it's time to lose your shit.
Or I think it's they've always had something, and this just gave them a reason to actually seek help. That could be it too. I don't know.
I'm not saying everybody was full of shit.
Right.
I'm just saying some people. I'm not actually saying anybody was full of shit. I'm just saying that they got told to be scared. Well, if you hear it enough, you'll, depending on your age and your mind strength or whatever you want to call it, people have a mob mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You tell 10 million people to freak out. Well, 3 or 4 million of them might actually freak out. And those numbers might even be higher at this point with social media and the way you're just, the news. You don't have to wait until
right. And
9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night to get the news anymore. It's all day, every day.
And I think the thing with the therapy is that, yes, now it is a little tougher to get.
Oh, it made it impossible.
Well,
unless you had cash.
No. A big part of yours, you can give me that look all you want. A big part of yours, though, is you are restricted to where you can go, times you can go, stuff like that. If you were okay to go to the city at 3 o'clock in the afternoon for therapy, you can get a therapist appointment. But because of your situation, it narrows down.
Maybe now, not then. Not right after the test. There was nobody. You know that. I literally went through the list of all the providers.
Right after the test, yes. Now,
called every one of them, and every one of them was not taking new patients.
Yeah, now there are, but now we fall into the situation where, because of your safe zone, and I'm not bashing you at all, but because your safe zone, it restricts.
Yeah, I know it. I know with my situation it limited, but now with the virtual being the big thing, it's like I can't even get that.
So I do know, and I only know this from my students. In order to get virtual, your intake has to be in person, and then the rest is virtual. The problem with that is if your intake is in the city, it's a vicious cycle with you. Yes, if you can get virtual out here and you have to go and see a therapist once in, say, Broomall or something that's a little ways out.
Every 3 months. They need to see you, I guess, once a quarter. I don't know.
But at least you're open to therapy again.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, it was supposed to be 2 or 3 months. Again, this is starting to get on my nerves because we're now 4 months in, and I was told last month that, we're adding more people. It shouldn't be much longer. It's like, it wasn't supposed to be much longer when you weren't adding more people.
People that might go once a week now might be going twice a week. I don't know. What's that look for?
They do that?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, depending what your situation is. Yeah, you can go twice a week, once a month. Yeah. All right, guys. So, go ahead.
I could see the less than, or, every other week or once a month or twice a week. I'm like, how much happens in your life that...
It depends how severe they're dealing with things. All right, guys. So, if you are watching this, drop in the comments what you feel about therapy.
Except anything political or social. I don't give a shit. And we will not respond to that crap. All
right. So just drop what your thoughts of therapy are, good, bad, or indifferent. All right. And we will be back next time. And I think next time I want to talk about maybe how this has affected some of your relationships. Wasn't sure that was funny, but okay.
We could just show all that into one thing and go, fuck them all up. Except for this one, obviously.
Wow. All right, guys. We will be back. See you soon.
One of us.